I told my parents that they ruined New Year's celebration after they kicked my husband out over a joke. So last week was our family's annual New Year's Eve party at my parents' house. They've been hosting this thing for like 15 years, and it's always been super chill. My husband Ben and I have been going together for the past 4 years since we got married. He knows my family pretty well by now, and they all seem to love him. My dad's always been the type to crack stupid jokes, and Ben usually laughs along. My mom makes her famous 7-layer dip that everyone fights over, and my little brother Jake brings his girlfriend who barely talks. It's just our usual thing, you know? This year felt different from the start though. My parents seemed stressed about something and kept whispering to each other in the kitchen. I figured maybe they were just tired from hosting again. Ben brought a bottle of expensive champagne he'd been saving and was super excited to share it with everyone. Around 10:30, we're all sitting in the living room playing charades. My dad had just acted out some movie none of us could guess when Ben raised his hand and said he had a New Year's resolution to share. Everyone got quiet because that's not really something we normally do, but we were all listening. Ben stood up, looked at my parents with this big grin, and said his resolution was to finally convince my dad to stop wearing those ratty old house slippers because they made him look like he was ready for the nursing home. Everyone started laughing because my dad's slippers are honestly disgusting. They're like 20 years old and held together with duct tape. But instead of laughing, my dad's face went completely red. He stood up and told Ben that was completely inappropriate and disrespectful. My mom jumped up too and started going off about how Ben had no right to comment on their home or belongings. I was so confused because it was obviously just a harmless joke. Ben tried to apologize and explain he was just kidding around like they always do, but my dad wasn't having it. He pointed toward the door and told Ben to get out of his house. My mom crossed her arms and said Ben clearly didn't understand boundaries and maybe he should think about that before coming back. I couldn't believe what was happening. I stood up and told them they were being absolutely ridiculous over a stupid joke about slippers. My brother Jake just sat there looking uncomfortable while his girlfriend pretended to check her phone. Ben grabbed his jacket and said he'd wait in the car, but I could see he was really hurt. That's when I lost it. I told my parents they had completely ruined New Year's Eve and embarrassed me in front of my husband. I said they were acting like children and making a huge deal out of nothing. My mom started crying and saying I was choosing Ben over family, which made no sense because he is my family now. My dad just kept shaking his head and muttering about respect and how young people don't understand anything. I grabbed my purse and coat and told them I was leaving too. As I walked toward the door, my mom yelled that if I left with Ben, not to bother coming back until I could see how wrong we both were. We ended up going to Ben's sister's house where her family was having their own party. They were super welcoming and we actually had a great time, but the whole thing still felt awful.